I will be happy when X. If only I could have this or achieve this, then I can finally feel fulfilled. Or the opposite, um, I am not happy now because I don't have this. Or I should do this, or I'm supposed to do this so that I can be happy. These are some of the most common types of limiting beliefs and negative thought patterns that I help my clients with, especially big idea types like ENTPs and ENFPs, and visionary types like INTJs and INFJs, who are always looking toward the future with big goals. You know, if I could achieve this, then I will grow, I will be more of myself, I'll be my best self, and then I will feel fulfilled and happy. But as you can imagine, this is an example of the hedonic treadmill, where you achieve one thing and then you think that's going to make you happy, but instead you're happy for a minute and then you acclimate and you're already on to the next goal, the next target. Sure, I got this, but if only I could have this, it would be even better, right? Wow, I got to go to the beach and this is great, but I've heard there's an even better beach. So, today I want to offer um, a different way of thinking about this, to really kind of distill it down and notice the path out. So, really, when we have thoughts like this that are essentially saying the present moment is insufficient, my present life is insufficient, right now is not good enough, and this alternative thing would be better, right? There are really only three core choices that we have. So the first choice is we continue pining. We continue imagining, ruminating again and again. Oh, if only this, if only this. Oh, this is okay, but that could be so much better, right? So option one is a clear path toward more suffering. It's never going to end, right? Especially if you have a dream or a goal that you're working toward that is really hard to achieve, right? Or perhaps almost impossible. Like, if only I could win the lottery, or if only my best friend had not died, right? That's a recipe for suffering. If you just keep imagining, if only, if only, if only, right? So that's option one. You continue ruminating, you continue pining, hoping, yearning, and it never happens. Or it takes many, many years to happen, and then you're suffering the whole time until it happens. Right? Option two is just do the thing immediately, if possible. Right? So if you're saying, um, someday I'll be able to start my own business and finally quit this job that I hate. So every day you're going to work and thinking, oh, I hate this stupid job. I hate this job. But someday I'm going to be in charge of my life. Someday I'm going to run my own business. So option two is saying, okay, enough is enough. I've been dreaming about this forever. I've been complaining about this stupid job forever. So maybe I'm not going to quit my job immediately without a backup plan. That would be stupid. But I am going to take one step, one tangible step toward starting my own business. And I start building it up on the side, see if it works. And if it seems viable enough, then I quit my job. Right? So the key here is pick one thing that feels small enough to actually do. So, what is one step in 30 minutes or less that I could take to make some real progress towards starting my business? And that might seem negligible, like what's that really going to change in only 30 minutes? I can't actually do this big thing, right? But I really challenge you to find just one small action that you can take. And I guarantee if you actually do that, that is going to have a substantial psychological, emotional effect on you, because it's really a dramatic shift going from someday, and feeling like it's completely out of reach, you're making no progress, versus I did something. I made some small degree of progress. Just that feeling of agency, that feeling of control, that it's not just life is happening, I'm caught up in the storm, but I actually did something. I am capable of moving toward my goal. That makes a huge difference. Option three. This is ultimately the most powerful path and the most challenging one. So, option three is really recognizing that existentially, spiritually, foundationally, at the deepest level, this is the human condition, to want what we don't have. The grass is greener, right? You go see, one famous, beautiful waterfall, say, oh, I've read all about this waterfall. It's so nice. Wow, so great, so great. And then immediately, you hear people talking like, oh, we just came back from this even higher waterfall off in this other country, and oh yeah, this waterfall's fine, but that waterfall's amazing. So immediately now, oh, I thought this waterfall was pretty good, but I really need to go see the even better waterfall. And that just happens all the time with everything in life, right? You enjoy a piece of food, you pay a lot of money for a restaurant, and maybe the next day you barely even remember it, or you're on to the next thing. And so just recognizing that this is how the human mind works, just from evolutionary reasons, that we're never quite content. We're always wanting the next thing. And so if you can recognize that, you can begin to see through the illusion. When your mind, when that voice in your head is promising you, you will be happy if only this. If only you could see the even more beautiful waterfall, then you're going to feel amazing. And in that moment, you can actually correct that belief. You can catch that voice and say, hold on, I don't think that's actually true. I actually don't think that seeing the, quote, more beautiful waterfall is going to make me happier than seeing this waterfall. So when you're standing there right now in front of this waterfall, can you actually just close your eyes, feel your feet on the ground, really ground yourself in this present moment? Here I am enjoying this waterfall in front of me. Maybe it's not the number one rated waterfall in the world. Maybe this is number 11 out of, who knows, tens of thousands of waterfalls. I have no idea how many there are, right? But that's pretty darn good, right? Can this waterfall be enough? Can I be content here? This happens to me all the time. It's happened to me in my life whenever I've traveled. I go to Japan and I want to eat at the number one rated sushi restaurant. I want to visit the top 3 temples in Kyoto. And are they really better than temples number 4 and 5 and 6? Right? How much better is the number 1 sushi restaurant compared to the number 12 sushi restaurant? It's probably not a hugely meaningful difference. And yet, it causes so much agitation. So much energy is put into getting the number 1. This is never enough. And so that's really, it's a spiritual, existential practice. And this is really what Buddhism is all about. Just always coming back to the present moment. Catching that voice that says, this is not good enough. This present moment is not good enough. This other moment would be better, right? That's what it's really saying. If only I could teleport from this moment to that moment, then I would be happy. And when you look at it that way, you really begin to see how hollow it is. And so that's kind of the core practice of Buddhism, is always just coming back to right now is great. Right now is good enough. And of course, you can have preferences. You can want more. You don't always have to be 100% content exactly with your life, exactly as it is. Of course, it's fine to want other experiences. But it's the flavor of the wanting. Is it more of like, I have to have this. I have to, I can never be happy until I get that. Then that's a recipe for suffering. But if it's more like, I have a pretty great life. I'm probably better off than 90% of humans or more on the planet. Like, that's pretty great. And sure, I'd like these other things. Maybe I'd like a softer mattress or, this new outfit. Cool, that'd be nice, but I don't desperately need it. So I want to offer you a few tips as well for practical implementation of all this. One is, as you're walking around in familiar circumstances, imagine you're on vacation. So if you're walking around in your neighborhood, imagine that you had traveled to a foreign country and you were seeing it for the first time. What's it like to really look around at all the trees, the buildings, and like, wow, I'm seeing this for the first time. To see it with the eyes that you would look at a place that you were only visiting for a short amount of time. That was like a famous place, right? You would look more carefully. Another tip is, if that voice in your head tells you you know, I should want this, or this other thing would be better. Often there are just so many things that we've been conditioned by marketing, by movies that we're supposed to want, right? Like, if only I could just lounge on the beach all day. So one trick is to tell yourself, flip that. If you're thinking, I'm at work, if only I could lounge on the beach all day, my life would be so great. And imagine instead saying, I have to go to the beach. I have to spend all day at the beach. And then I also have to spend all day at the beach tomorrow and the next day and the next day. I have to stay at the beach, right? For some people, maybe that's amazing. Maybe that is your best life. But for me, when I do that, it's, ooh, God, I have to stay at the beach all day. I don't actually want that. So it can be just a little trick to kind of get a different perspective. I think it's also really valuable to make a list of the common things you tell yourself that this should make me happy, or this would make me happy, or if only I had more time, I would do this. Like, often we tell ourselves the story, I'm so busy. If only I had time, I would clean the whole house. That's nice. So you could try telling yourself, great, you have to stop what you're doing right now and clean the whole house. Are you actually excited? Right? All these things we tell ourselves, someday when I have more time, I would do this. Is that actually true, though? So make a list for yourself of all the things you tell yourself, someday if I had more time, someday if I had the resources, I would do this. And then look at each one and say, well, would that really make me happy? Do I really want to do that? If so, why don't I do it tomorrow? And again, is there some small version? Is there one step you could take toward that to actually do it instead of putting it off again forever? Even some small taste of it. And if you are not actually excited, of like, okay, I have to clean the whole house right now, I keep telling myself someday I'll do it when I have time, but imagining I have a completely open day tomorrow, do I actually want to clean the house? No? Then maybe I should stop telling myself again and again, if only you had more free time, you'd clean the house. Right? And then finally, try to make a list of the things that you actually enjoy that are doable within your power. Right? So next time you're thinking, oh, if only I could go to the beach, if only I could have a completely different life, if only I could, have this amazing expensive thing, try to replace that with, okay, and what can I control? What is some small thing that I can do? I can call a friend. I can listen to music. I can cook some new novel meal that I've been meaning to try. Right? I bet that just doing that small thing will not bring you significantly less joy than doing the big thing. You imagine the big thing would be this transformative, amazing experience that feels so good. But maybe just hanging out with a friend would feel quite good too, for way less effort. And it's way more doable, way more under your control. All right? So, again, the three core choices, whenever you're thinking, if only this, I'd be happier if, the three core choices are, one, keep ruminating on it, keep suffering, never do anything about it, or keep putting off forever. Number two, actually do it. Tell yourself, okay, you have to do it then. You keep thinking about this, just do it. Just do one small piece, 30 minutes or less. Or number three, keep reminding yourself existentially, this is the human condition. We always want more. We're always on the hedonic treadmill. We get used to it, and then we want the next thing. Then we want the next thing. Then we want the next thing. And so that's where spiritual practice can come in, like Buddhism, meditation, just really examining moment to moment. I always want something different. Oh, here, I want to scratch my nose. I want to adjust my legs. I want to adjust my posture. Oh, I want to not be sitting anymore, right? Meditation is kind of a microcosm to just notice the constant yearning for reality to be different. And the practice is just coming back to, and here I am in this present moment. And this moment is fine. Oh, here's a new moment. This moment is fine too. All right. I hope that's valuable, and I wish you a nourishing day.